Isabel Cayetano, and this is my synthesis project. First, we're going to start off with interactive writing. So, interactive writing is when writers are able to visualize their writing, and it can be done by reading children's books or the share the pen technique, where teachers allow the students to write the words instead of them simply just writing them for their students. Now we're going to head over to independent writing. So it's when the students write by themselves. So my case study would write by herself for 20 minutes every time we met. And this was kind of tied into our mini lesson. So it allowed her to apply what she learned. Meanwhile, in shared writing, this is when both students and teachers write together. The teacher acts as a scribe and the students contribute with words and ideas. So this is different. Instead of the teachers allowing the students to write, the teacher will be the one who writes it. Writer's Workshop has mentor text and introduction. So this one lasts about 10 minutes, and it's when the teacher provides a book that the students can relate to. So she ties in her lesson to this through it has either punctuation, spelling, anything that the teacher wants to go over. This is where she kind of has the text to help her get the message across. And now the second one is the mini lesson. So this one lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. And so this is the lesson that targets what the student needs in order to improve their writing. So it can either be voice, punctuation, grammar, spelling. That's what the teacher has to focus on. Writing time. So the student writes for 20 minutes, and this is when the student is able to apply what they learned. Sharing time is when the student and shares with a class or partner. It can be through author's chair or just simply pairing up your students and them sharing through their partner. Our third one is the writing process. So the first off, we're going to start off with rehearsing. Rehearsing is when the students talk about their ideas. This is where they express them through simply talking to their partners, peers, or whole class. Now, pre-writing is when the students start to write their ideas on paper. So this is where they start to get who their audience is, get the information about the topic, and do more research about that. Now, drafting is when the writing starts to happen. So this is where the students solely write and they do not focus on any punctuation, spelling, or grammatical errors. And third one is revising. So it's when it's when you change the order. You either add more such as details or sentences, or you take away details or sentences that don't make sense in whatever the student is writing. And now 4 is editing. It's when you fix any errors such as spelling, capitalization, punctuation, and grammar. Sharing is when the student shares with teachers or a partner to get feedback on what corrections they should make in order to improve their writing. And now publishing is the final product. This is where the students write. This is the final product of the student's writing, and this is where they display it either through author's chair or a publishing party. Author's chair is when the teacher kind of encourages the students to be able to share their writing through the use of costumes, cool glasses, something that will motivate them to want to share with the class. Now we have our 6 traits of writing, which the first one is ideas. So this is the message of the story and the supporting details that reinforce the main idea. So these little details kind of provide the overall, what the story is going to be about. And now we're going to head over to organization. So the beginning, middle, and end of the story. So this makes sure that the story flows together. My case study did this through a hamburger lesson. The first bun was the beginning, the middle bun, the meat was the middle, and then the end was the bottom bun. And then she was able to grasp this through using this picture it was helpful for her to visualize it. And now voice. So it's the student expressing their writing. So who is the person behind the work through the use of words and style. And so this is where their personality is shown. So word choice. So this is using perfect words to show meaning, such as switching regular words to those that sparkle or fancy words, as Fancy Nancy would say. So instead of saying it was a rainy day, you can start off by saying the clouds were dark. There was water pouring down my jacket. Words like that will help the writing be a little bit more fancy. Now, sentence fluency is when the sentences flow together, so they do not begin with the same word or phrase. And lastly, conventions is fixing punctuation, spelling, capitalization, and grammar. This is where you start to fix the big things inside the student's writing. All of these relate by allowing teachers to have purposeful writing lessons through sharing time, writing time, and ideas. Instead of having students just write, we provide meaning by having basic terms that are easy for students to master and relate to.